This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Place to Be Nation, welcome back to another, what I think is always an episode of Bells with Books. I am your host, Miranda, and of course, I am never alone. I am joined by the one, the only, Bianca.
Hello.
You didn't do it!
Well, you said my name wrong.
Actually, I said it very British, so the Brits say Bianca. You know what? I would like to know why. Because Bianca sounds better.
I agree.
Well, Bianca says, hello!
Hello! If you say my name properly, I'll say hello properly.
She's like, don't you dare. And I finally did it.
Mirandia.
You know, it doesn't bother me anymore. Now, 6-year-old Miranda, she would have copped an attitude with you and been like, my name is not Mirandia. I did cop an attitude once, actually, with a few people. And then also, I don't know where this nickname came from, but when I was little, my mother and my grandmother called me Louise. And apparently I was just had it up to here day, with them. And I turned around and I was like 3. So I was like, my name, not Louise. My name, Winna Catherine Saucy. And they were like, okay, Miranda. But now, at this age, somebody's like, Mirandia, and I'm like, hey, whatever. A lifetime of no one saying my name right. I go over it.
You probably had the same issue I do. If you look for your name on, like, those keychains or whatever, you never find it.
Never find it. Do you even find anything remotely close, like maybe your middle name?
Well, Bianca is my middle name.
I forgot that. Yes, I forgot that.
But I have found it twice. Once was at a zoo. I forget what zoo we were at. But then my dad found one a few years ago, and he bought me one.
So I have found a Miranda a couple of times, but obviously it's not spelled the way I spell mine. And I have found my middle name. My middle name is Catherine with a K. So I
feel like that's more common.
Yeah, I have come across. Everybody tells me it's an old lady name, and I'm like, you can take it and shove it. I love my middle name.
I love Catherine.
I do too. And it's spelled just like my grandmother's. My grandmother's middle name is also Catherine, same spelling. So, yeah. But
we
enough
do
about
have
names. How are you doing?
We can name some stuff that's going on in the book world right now.
We can name lots of stuff that's going on in the book world. Do you like that one I popped in there? You're probably like, what in the heck, Miranda?
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, Miranda.
I had to make it known. So let me get the silliness out of the way. I discovered today that they're going to take another stab at the Cat in the Hat book being made into a movie.
Who is they?
Hang on.
Cat in the Hat movie announcement.
Like
what does the Google say?
Yeah, it's coming out in like 2026.
Oh, it's going to star Bill Hader.
Yeah, Bill Hader. Apparently it's animated, so I have a little extra hope. The first look at the cat, he's kind of funny. He's funny. I'm here for it. It's given vibes of like the Grinch movie that came out a couple of years ago and Horton Hears a Who. So I'm thinking maybe they are redeeming themselves.
Ooh, Quinta Brunson's going to be in it.
She is funny. I love her. Yeah, so 2026, and technically Cat in the Hat is a book. Don't come at me. I know this is book news. This is book news. And I know a lot of people our age and even younger, because even now it's still like a staple of like children's literature. We read this book. We liked the series. So if you were one that was into that, you have another chance for Cat in the Hat to be right. Because listen, while I did enjoy that one, that's all I got to say.
I know which one you're talking about. It has, what's his name in it?
Mike Myers.
Yeah. I don't think I ever watched it.
I think if I'm remembering when it came out, it was kind of on the tail of, because The Grinch with Jim Carrey had done so well.
Yeah.
Which I love. And I think they were hoping that momentum would continue. And it did not.
No, because as a child, I remember seeing the like advertisements for it. And I remember my parents asking if I wanted to go see it. And I was like, No.
Yeah, it came out in 2003. And it's kind of bananas. And I love bananas. I love crazy kooky. But I didn't feel like it landed the way it should have. Well,
here's hoping this one is better.
Yeah, I'm gonna look on while you continue. I'm curious now. What did Rotten Tomatoes say about it?
I don't know. Let's tell the boys and girls.
Boys and girls said 10%. 10% tomato meter, 57 or tomato meter, 57% popcorn meter.
Wow. I think that's the lowest score I've ever heard for a movie.
Critics' consensus. Oh, I love this one-liner. Here you go. Filled with double entendres and potty humor, this cat falls flat. That's all you need to know. So we get a second chance, which that's the theme of today's episode is second chances. So that's why I had
true.
I had to include Cat in the Hat because it is getting a second chance, and little Miranda's fingers are very crossed. So just saying.
Well, for our Frida McFadden fans out there, we have The Housemaid, as everyone knows, is being turned into a movie, but now the cast is being assembled. We officially have Sydney Sweeney, Amanda Seyfried, and Brandon Sklenar, who Brandon was in It Ends With Us. He played Atlas.
Movie or series?
A movie.
It is going to be a film? Oh, okay.
Yeah. They haven't said, I don't think they've said what platform or theater. They haven't said yet. I just know it's going to be a film. And then we also got some Colleen Hoover news. Mm-hmm. Reminders of Him. Her 2022 book is going to be turned into a movie with Universal Pictures.
Aren't we supposed to be getting Verity as well?
Yes, Verity went to Amazon.
That's right.
But they just announced this last week, I think.
I think you're right. I just couldn't remember the Verity. Sometimes when we discuss so many, my brain can't remember if it's like actually happening unless I see more development like in the world, or if it was an option, because we've talked about the difference a bunch of times. So sometimes I think something's actually happening and it was like, oh, no, that was just an option.
No, this one's actually happening.
I thought so. Okay.
And then Rebecca Yarros' novel In the Likely Event is now in the works at Netflix. Mm-hmm. This is one that I have not read by her.
I haven't either.
I think our friend Brittany has read it, so I'll have to hit her up to see what she thought of it. But it's one of her newer novels. It was published in 2023, so it was after Fourth Wing.
Which I think people forget that she's got several books besides the Imperium series.
Which, well, actually the Imperium series is like an outlier for all of her books. Yes. The rest of her books are more like women's fiction / romance.
She writes a lot of like military women's fiction romance, like where their partner is usually in the military, which she is the spouse of I think he's out now, but she is a military spouse herself. Yes. So
she's actually a graduate of Troy University.
I saw that and I was like, how did I not? I just saw that like a few weeks ago and was like, how did I not realize that she went to Troy?
Go Trojans! I think she did it online because she's always lived in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
So I'm pretty sure she was an online thing, which fun fact, which it may not be anymore, but at one point Troy University was like the biggest global campus of any university school ever. Mm-hmm. So it really doesn't surprise me. A lot of people attend Troy.
And I know at one point in time that they were really big in like the military spouse community for like furthering your education. Yes. Because they did offer such like a global online presence. So
I'm a graduate of Troy University, if anyone's wondering. I got my bachelor's from there.
Considered going back to school at Troy, but I did not. I went to Western Kentucky University.
Whoop, whoop. Go. What's the mascot?
Hilltoppers. Don't ask. It's dumb. Anyway, move forward. He literally is Red Grimace. Look him up. He looks like Grimace from McDonald's, but red. And the whole reason we are the Hilltoppers is because the man that founded our school, he said he wanted to challenge students not only academically, but physically. And so literally all of our like halls are on hills.
His name is Big Red, and he looks like something from a Bianca dream.
His red grimace is the best description. Yeah.
Why is his mouth so big?
I don't know. It is nightmare fuel, okay? I don't know.
His mouth goes like all the way around his head.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Okay. That's enough talk about university mascots.
Never thought that would happen, but here we are.
Taylor Jenkins Reid has announced her new book. It is called Atmosphere, and it is once again set in the 80s. TJR really loves the 80s. A lot of her books are set in the 80s. But Atmosphere, an epic novel set against the backdrop of the 1980s space shuttle program and the extraordinary lengths we go to live and love beyond our limits.
I'm interested.
I'm not a big fan of the cover just because it has a person on the cover, like a real person.
Yeah, you don't like cartoon people or real people on the cover, really.
Well, because this looks like a movie poster. Like, legit, it looks like a movie poster.
Let me go look this up. I thought I looked at it the other day.
Which they've only announced this one cover. I'm assuming there will be different covers for the UK and all the other countries.
Yeah, I usually do. Well, I've noticed more and more that some of the more popular books, the cover is the same. Fourth Wing, same. ACOTAR, same. I can't remember what else. But, I mean, I've noticed more and more that the, like, quote-unquote, more popular books when I go to the bookstore here are the same cover that you get in America, which is a little bit of a bummer because I kind of love that I can get a UK cover, you know?
Yeah.
But, oh well.
But needless to say, I will be definitely reading this. I think there's only one Taylor book that I have not read
What
yet.
is this one called again? I'm sorry.
Atmosphere.
Atmosphere. Thank you.
It is available for pre-order now. Oh, there is a
Sorry. I heard that in my head.
Oh,
yeah.
There is going to be a different UK cover. I just found it, and I actually like it better.
I mean, this cover's not bad. I get it. She's supposed to be wearing a flight suit.
Yeah.
And she's wearing her little aviator shades. I mean, makes sense. So it's not like some of those where you're like, why did you just put this person out here?
Well, here, I'm going to send you the UK cover in chat so you can look at it. I like it a lot better.
Let me check this out.
Ooh, and it has colored edges. That's not fair.
We do get a lot of color. Oh, I will. Waterstones, you are hello. Click pre-order.
Hey.
Out.
Hey, bestie.
Hey, bestie, would you like one?
Yes, please.
We ordered 2 copies from Waterstones. I'm literally doing this. I'm not even lying. I am literally currently in the middle.
That's gorgeous.
I am in the middle of logging into water.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new acquisition to talk about.
Literally. So if you hear some clicking and some clacking, it's just me over here buying books. Like, I'm not even lying.
Which, have you read a Taylor book before?
Yeah, I read,
Did you read Seven Husbands?
I read Seven Husbands and devoured it. Like, okay. And I need to do, because I know you keep telling me that I probably really would like,
Daisy Jones.
Daisy Jones.
Yeah.
And I think, was it you or my sister-in-law, or maybe even both of you, said that you thought I would really like Carrie Soto.
Carrie Soto's okay. Yeah. Carrie Soto and Malibu Rising are, Malibu Rising came first, and then Carrie Soto came after. It's a spinoff of one of the characters in Malibu Rising.
A duology, but you probably should read one before the other.
You can probably read them independently.
Okay.
It would just probably be more sentimental if you read Malibu Rising first.
Okay.
But those are both also set in the 80s.
Listen, I'm for it. As someone that was born in the 80s, I kind of really appreciate this resurgence of like 80s and even early 90s love. I'm not going to lie. It's nostalgia.
Have you ordered them? Are you done clicking and clacking?
I'm not done cooking coffee, but I will mute myself. You go right on ahead.
Well, I think that's all of the social media / book news updates that we have.
There wasn't a whole lot right now. I mean, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but I felt like it's been a little quiet. I'm okay with that. Because there for a while, I was like, get your popcorn.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like we're getting more adaptation announcements than we are necessarily new book announcements, which I'm good with because my TBR is full, y'all. Full.
Oh, mine is like consistently full. I think mine's been full since the day I realized that I was a reader, which has been a lot.
I can't take any more. Oh, I will say, I posted a poll to our Instagram, so if you're not following us, I've had a few responses.
Because do you want to know why Bianca asked this question? Because I feel like I know why Bianca asked this question. What's the question you asked, Bianca?
I said November is for ... and I took a poll.
Mm-hmm.
And typically what I see people reading in November are 3 things. Mm-hmm. Horror books, thrillers, and fantasy. So I wanted to poll our people to see what everyone's going to be reading in November. And I added a 4th option. Well, hello, babe.
Hi, babe.
He just like screamed at me. The door is open. You can leave.
Babe is like one of the most boisterous cats I've ever met in my life. I adore her.
Well, there was a fly in her earlier. I tried to get her out, but she was like, no, I must vanquish this fly.
There was like one day you were Marcoing me and literally you ended up having to like click off the Marco because she was just like, rah, rah, rah. And I was like, oh my God, go take care of her. Like,
she just likes to talk, y'all.
She sounded like she was dying that day, though. I was like, what is wrong with her?
She's just talking. That's what she does. Anyways.
Recorded another podcast before this, and one of my co-hosts, his cat was like snoring so loud that I kept hearing like this. And I was like, what is going on? I realized it was his cat. Oh, I was like, oh my God, I'm done.
So I put horror books, thrillers, fantasy, whatever I want. Mm-hmm. The only responses I have gotten from anybody have been whatever I want.
Yeah, that was me. I was one of them.
I will say Kat messaged and what did she say? I want to say it word for word.
Oh my God, what did she say?
She said cozy romances with a heart emoji.
Nice. So do you know why I thought you asked this?
Why?
Because there is one of us that is like, put that thing back where it came from, or so help me, there are still orange leaves on the ground. And there's another one of us that may have Marcoed the other one singing Christmas songs.
On November 1st.
On November 1st. And was sad because she couldn't put her Christmas tree up on Halloween.
Y'all, I split my toe open earlier this week.
This is like the first time you and I have done something like this.
And I had just gotten back from vacation where we went on a cruise. And I was perfectly fine on the cruise. Like, this experience has led me to believe that I am meant to be a pirate and live on the high seas. Because I was perfectly fine on the cruise. I had no issues. As soon as I got back on land, I had land sickness. I had land sickness for 5 days.
She texted me and said she only feels good when she was horizontal. Apparently, like, you were sick enough. And I'm laughing, but I've had this happen with migraines where if I'm not laying flat, I feel like I'm dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so anyway, so I had land sickness going on. I split my toe open. I won't go into that whole story. But so the past like 5 years, I have spent Halloween putting up my Christmas tree because I just don't celebrate Halloween. I'm not that kind of person. So I'm like, I'm going to get my tree out and be all happy and singy and prance around the house. With all that going on, I couldn't this year. So it'll go up next weekend. So
while Miss Mann was over there singing her Christmas heart out, I was like, this is Halloween. This is Halloween. And I still am. Like, when you messaged me, I was like, ma'am, we still got All Saints, All Souls, Day Less to Be Smart. You got the veil is still thin. Like, let it be thin. Let it remain. Oh, but I did send you a picture where, like, it's full on Christmas up in Europe already.
Yeah.
It is happening.
Well,
so,
the
also
theme...
books acquired. Go ahead, continue.
Yay! So the theme of this episode is second chance authors. We feel like this was something new for us to discuss and new avenues to explore here. So we both chose separate books that we want to discuss by authors that we have previously read that we did not enjoy. Mm-hmm. So do you want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
I'm just gonna say that I don't have a whole lot to say, so.
Okay, I'll go first then.
You can go first.
So my second chance author was Holly Black. I had previously read Cruel Prince because that particular book had been at the top of TBRs and want to reads and bestseller lists for like ever. And I'm also one of those people who I don't really research books before I read them. I like to go in kind of blind. Like, give me a one-line synopsis of like something to grab me, and I'll be good. And I forget what the tagline was for that book, but I was like, yeah, I'll read it. I hated every second of that book, mainly because...
which one it was you read.
Cruel Prince.
It was Cruel Prince, that's right.
Yeah.
But you don't like Fae.
Well, see, I didn't know it was about Fae when I read it.
I'm just saying, like, I could have been like, oh, she's not going to like this. I loved it. Let me just go ahead and put that out there. If you love Fae, if you like anything like that, this is it. Oh, Cruel. We have some friends that agree with me, too. Cruel Prince, so good.
Well, and it sounds like the majority of the world agrees with you. I am just the outlier because I don't like Fae. So I decided to look up to see what other books she has that were not Fae related, and she does. This one is called Book of Night. Let me pull up the synopsis real quick. I should have done this before I started. No, not the ad. I hate when it does that. You grab a swig of water while I wait for this to load.
No problemo.
So the tagline for this was, Holly Black makes her adult debut with Book of Night, a modern dark fantasy of shadowy thieves and secret societies.
Nice.
That sounds more at my speed, so I was like, okay, this will be my second chance. It's categorized under genres for fantasy, urban fantasy, fiction, adult fiction, and paranormal. So, quick synopsis. In Charlie Hall's world, shadows can be altered for entertainment and cosmetic preferences, but also to increase power and influence. You can alter someone else's feelings and memories, but manipulating shadows has a cost, with the potential to take hours or days from your life. Your shadow holds all the parts of you that you want to keep hidden, a second self standing just to your left, walking behind you into lit rooms. And sometimes it has a life of its own. I feel like that's a pretty good encompassing thing.
Yeah,
and
I'm here for it.
It totally drew me in. I'm not going to go into too great a detail of this book just because, one, it is more of a murder mystery type situation. And I think we all know that can get very complicated, and I'm not trying to confuse anybody.
You're still spoiling it, though, right? Yes, no?
Yeah, I'll still, well...
Oh, my God, Bianca.
What?
It's signed editions.
Is it really?
Oh!
Yes!
Sorry to interrupt everyone. Oh. Okay, continue.
We are composed now. So like I said, this Book of Night is more of a murder mystery type situation, and it gave me very, very strong Jessica Jones vibes.
Nice.
So if those all sound like your thing, I highly recommend this book. I gave it 3.5 stars, just because I would have given it 4, but it went, there could have been some editing.
Okay.
There was a lot of unnecessary stuff, and there was one particular plot line that literally could have just been left out. I was like, why is this here?
That was me with the book I finished recently. Oh.
But 3.5. It is going to be a duology. The second book has not come out yet, but I will be picking it up. So I will continue this, even though I gave it 3.5 stars. Like, it's still good. So, like I said, this is an adult novel, and there are some, I won't say horror, but more adult content in here. I'll say gore.
Trigger?
There's gore.
Oh, okay, just gore. Okay, so no specific like trigger warnings, just like it could be icky.
Yeah. So I'll just start with it. It starts with a prologue, and it's a child cutting himself using a penknife in order to feed his shadow.
Oh, okay.
So that's how we're starting the book.
Mm-hmm.
This book is very dark. Deals with dark elements. It's not like, I don't want people to get the wrong idea. It's not like Satan worship or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're dealing with shadow magic type things, that tends
like
to
dark,
be.
It's like dark, but it might not necessarily mean like
It's not like
demons.
Evil.
Yeah, it's not necessarily Eamon. It's just dark Eamon. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Say the words for me. I can't talk.
So, chapter 1, our main character is Charlie, and I like to say Charlie is an anti-hero. Okay. She has a very dark past. She has done bad things. She is a known like thief. Mm-hmm. She's trying to turn her life around and be better, mainly for her little sister who she's a senior in high school and she's trying to go to college and save up money for college. She lives with her sister and her boyfriend, Vance or Vince. Always get it confused. Vince. Okay. They don't have a good relationship with their mom. Her mom was always kind of flighty and not really in their life, going from boyfriend to boyfriend, husband to husband. Mm-hmm. And she's also a very spiritual person where even if she doesn't go like her sister reads tarot cards for a living.
Okay.
Not for a living, but like as a side gig, basically, to help her save money. And her sister and Charlie, they both know how to discern when someone is doing true things mm-hmm. in that realm and when they're not. Her mother does not have that ability. So if someone tells her something, she automatically believes it and just follows those flights of fancy, if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
So they don't live with their mom. Very tenuous relationship there. Charlie works at a bar as a bartender. Like I said, she's trying to turn her life around. Her life has basically been one bad decision after another. However, now she finally has a stable job and a boyfriend. Like I said, shadow magic is real in this world, but otherwise it is set in the real world. I think the shadow stuff is basically the only magic thing here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This woman named Doreen visibly walks in upset at the bar. Charlie knows her. They went to high school together, and Doreen is basically asking Charlie to help her find her lost boyfriend. Like I said, Charlie has a reputation for being able to do things maybe not everyone else be able to do. It's not necessarily magic, but she's just good at deceit. There's a guy who owns like I'll say speakeasy for lack of a better word, that's like beneath this bar. Mm-hmm. Because while it does like serve various alcohol and drugs, but he also deals with said shadow magic, and his name is Balthazar.
Oh, that's very befitting. Love it.
Yes. He's the one who got her the job at this bar, and the bar is called the Rapture Bar and Lounge.
I love it.
And he comes to Charlie with a proposition wanting to hire her as more than bartender, wants her to basically be one of his henchmen, and she's just like, no, I'm trying to do better. I really want to be a regular person and just be there for my sister. And he's just like, you'll change your mind. In this world, people can alter their shadows. The rich use it for more vanity reasons. Like, there's a bunch of different examples, but you'll hear of one celebrity altering their shadow to have wings so that the person can briefly levitate off the ground for a few seconds. Mm-hmm. So it's very vanity type things, much like celebrities get cosmetic work done today. But it does come at a price. People can sell their shadows, or they can have their shadows stolen. If that happens, you basically become a shell of yourself because you're missing essentially a part of your soul. A shadow is seen as a part of you, so if you lose it, you lose half of you, basically. There are shadow thieves who will steal your shadow and sell it on the black market. And it turns out that Vince, Charlie's boyfriend, is one of those people. He has no shadow. And he's not described as like this bad guy or anything, but he's just a bigger guy, kind of bulky, big muscles, but he's more of a gentle giant. He doesn't really have a personality. So he's just like yes or no answers. Doesn't really tell you a whole lot about his day. He's just kind of there. But he's a nice calming presence for Charlie. So it all starts, like I said, with Doreen walking in and asking Charlie to help her find Doreen's boyfriend. His name is Adam. And some stuff unfolds that I won't really get into, but we found out that Adam actually is in possession of this book called the Book of Night, or what was it? It goes by another name. It's Latin. Liber Noctum.
Mm-hmm.
So Charlie essentially goes on a quest to find the Liber Noctum, or the Book of Night. And we go through... I really don't want to get too much more into it, because then it just all becomes confusing if you're not reading it. Like, I take notes when I'm reading books for the podcast. It got to a point where I couldn't take notes.
I still struggle with taking notes for the podcast, just to be honest with you. I just have to sometimes, it happens. Go with it.
Yeah. Well, and I got so into it that I realized at one point that I had read 3 chapters without taking notes. And I was like, oh, crap. So let me go back and try to summarize this. But then I realized I wasn't doing a good summarization.
Oh.
The book is really good. I want everyone to go read it. If you want to read a murder mystery with shadow magic that gives you Jessica Jones vibes,
absolutely,
I highly recommend it. I hope my little blurb of the first chapter and a half kind of reeled you in. I said,
I will be reading this. You already got me.
Yeah.
His name's Balthazar. Come on. It was like Holly was like, I am writing this book for Miranda Berthold. That's all I'm hearing so far.
It was really good. Yeah. So I recommend it. Go pick it up, ladies and gentlemen. You can get it on Kindle for $12, $13. I bought it used off the Amazon for $4, although it is water damaged, but it was $4, so I'm not complaining too much. So yeah, go pick up Book of Night by Holly Black if you want a good murder mystery with some fantastical elements. And then Miranda, I think you were going to do a Nora Roberts book.
Yes.
Now, I have never read anything by Nora Roberts, so this will be a new experience for me.
I have read Nora Roberts before. Do not like her.
Well, that's why this is a second chance.
I know. So, when I was picking my second chance, because Bianca and I had a big discussion, so it was actually either going to be, and do not come for me, Outlander fans. Do not come for me. I love the show. It is the only time that you will probably hear me say that I like the television more than the books. I read book 1, and it was a struggle. It was a struggle because she's just so descriptive. And normally Bianca's the one that's like, okay, get to the point. But I was the one saying get to the point. So the options were either Diana's Outlander series again or Nora. And Bianca convinced me that Nora was the better option because with the Outlander series, I still know the outcome. I know I liked the show and technically I did read the book. So I was like, okay. So I gave Nora a shot, and I read a book I had never read from her before. And the reason I picked this one is because it had It kind of got me. It said that it was kind of like they were paranormal, like possible time travel, and I was like, okay. So I'll go ahead and read you how the novel was set up, like synopsis thing on the back. And it says, 1806, Astrid Poole sits in her bridal clothes, overwhelmed with happiness. But before her marriage can be consummated, she's murdered, and the circle of gold torn from her finger. Her last words are a promise to Colin never to leave him. Graphic designer Sonia McTavish is stunned to learn that her late father had a twin he never knew about, and that her newly discovered uncle, Colin Poole, has left her almost everything he owned, including a majestic Victorian house on the Maine coast, which the will stipulates she must live in for at least 3 years. Her engagement recently broken, she sets off to find out why the boys were separated at birth and why it was all kept a secret until a genealogy website brought it to light. Trey, the young lawyer who greets her at the sprawling clifftop manor, notes Sonia's unease and acknowledges that yes, the place is haunted, but just a little. Sure enough, Sonia finds objects move and music playing out of nowhere. She sees a painting by her father inexplicably, oh my God, cannot talk. Inexplicably hanging, we're moving forward, hanging over deceased uncle's office. And a portrait of a woman named Astrid, whom the lawyer refers to as the first lost bride. It's becoming clear that Sonia has inherited more than a house. She's inherited a centuries-old curse, and a puzzle to be solved if there's any hope of breaking it. So you could see why I would pick this one.
I was like, that sounds pretty good.
It sounds good. Sounds very Miranda. Okay. I didn't hate this book, okay? I gave it 3.5 stars, okay? So that doesn't mean that I hated it. I'm a little glad I gave it a second chance. This actually is part of a series. Let me see how many are in it real quick. Sorry.
Is it a trilogy? I think it's a trilogy.
I think she's usually does a lot. She either does books that go for like 31, a gajillion, or she does trilogies. I don't know why in her romance novels it seems like she does a lot of trilogies. There we go. Lost Bride trilogy. Yes. Lost Bride trilogy. Again, I don't know why. It's rated 4.35 on Goodreads, so people apparently tend to like it. And it's a fairly new book, too. That's the other thing. I wanted to read one of her newer reads. So it came out in 2023. It has a gothic feel to it. There are very strong gothic elements, which I do love. I mean, you've got an isolated mansion on cliff to ghosts to inhabit it. So, like, I'm here for that. It was just, I felt when I first started this book, like maybe I had picked up book 2. Because it literally goes straight into the 1806 thing and tells you a really quick story. It literally, like, the first 2 pages tell you about Astrid and her death. Like, immediate. And then we go into the description of who Sonia is and her engagement. And all of that for them to be like, oh, and then she catches her husband, or her soon-to-be husband, cheating on her in bed. She catches them in the act, and it's her cousin. And I'm not, like, super spoiling anything. This literally happens, like, first off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what frustrated me is, one, I immediately felt disjointed because she tells me the Astrid story and then abruptly ends the Astrid story.
Is that the only time you have Astrid?
Oh, no. Astrid she's back. But I mean, like, her point of view, like, what is happening, like, it was pretty abrupt, like, in the very beginning. I was like, oh, okay. Like, it was very short.
Okay.
I was like, I feel like this could have been told later. You know when you watch a movie and the first, like, 3 minutes of the movie don't have anything to do with it until much later?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Okay.
And for me, I just felt really off immediately. And then she used, like, a whole chapter basically to tell us about how Sonia didn't want a big wedding. She just wanted simple. She didn't want an expensive wedding dress. She just wanted simple. And then they ended up buying this wedding dress that cost like 3 months worth of 3 mortgage payments. And all of, like, they go into full detail about how, he said they had to have a big wedding. And he said And you know what? Maybe they were setting up the kind of person he was, but her now not engaged. They tell you on the back of the book that her engagement's broken, but like he mandates all of these things. And it turns out they also work together. And I was like, oh, for crap's sake, like how much can you dump on this poor girl? So I was a little frustrated. But then the story comes of like how she gets the house and that her father was actually a twin. And I really enjoyed that part. And then we get to the house and you meet the lawyer that came and spoke to her and told her like, hey, you've inherited this. This is the deal. And she does have a really funny, encouraging best friend. Her mother is super caring and encouraging, so I did like that because I think far too often in a lot of these books, they don't have, like, a good, like, that's part of what drives them to be, like, go live in the weird house, is they don't have, like, a good support system. And she actually does. Like, she has an amazing best friend and an amazing mother who both convince her, like, you need to take this opportunity, like, none of us knew your dad had a twin brother. Her dad, before he passed, didn't even know he had a twin brother. So I did like that part, that they like heavily encourage her to go like seek out this other life and try this. And maybe it's perfect timing because of the douche canoe that slept with her cousin. So, and he's nasty. Like he ends up doing a lot to her in that short little time period. And I was like, and then it goes like, she says something that also irritated me, where she's like, well, I can't prove it, so it's not like I can go to the cops. And I was like, oh, like, I don't know why that bothered me so bad, but it really bothered me. And then you meet the young lawyer, who is actually the son to the lawyer that came to see her, and you immediately go, I see what you're doing here, Nora. I see what you, because she describes him, and he greets her at the manor. He shows her around the manor. Apparently he was very close family-wise, or like, he had a nice relationship with the man that was her uncle. She didn't know existed. And so it's just a very sweet interaction when they meet. And then pretty quickly, some like craziness ensues. Like I said, there's items that kind of move around the house. There's this thing it does where it's like third person past tense narrative of the present. I know that sounds confusing. There's some like brief flashback. It is though. It's like third person, but it's like this past tense narrative of some of the things that are actually happening, like the way it's worded.
Which, did you do audiobook or physical or both?
Audio. Yeah,
Okay.
I did audio for this. Narrator was really good. She was really good. So highly recommend if you're into audiobooks. I needed audiobook this month. I've been not at the house much, so I needed it to complete everything. Protagonist, actually, she's quite likable, I will say. She's considered middle-class professional. But there were some things I didn't like. Like, she's 28, and somehow, like, she's talking about how she went to college and she did all this, and the normal thing would be have, like, student loans, and I guess that's normally the thing that you would talk about. And she owns this. She's doing very well for herself at 28, which I'm not saying that people can't, but it just seems like the majority of the time we hear about people at 28 being like, you know, I'm still trying to buy property and I'm still paying off my student loans and, you know, stuff that you and I normally talk about. But she seemed very
maybe
like,
a 28-year-old back in like the 80s or something.
Yeah, she was doing extremely well. She's very likable. She's very sensible. You can tell she's really kind. She is just a good person. And what I do like is that a lot of times in romance novels, we see women, especially the main character, being like a doormat or extremely naive. And she's neither of those things. Like when she catches him in the act, she literally decides to she doesn't just throw his stuff out. She throws the whole man out. Like she tells both of them, you can leave my house right now. And he's like, this is our house. And she's like, no, my name is on that lease. You can, or the mortgage or whatever. She's like, you can leave right now or I will call the police. So I did like her a lot because usually we play this game of like, oh, but he said he was sorry. And he tries to say sorry. And the comments she makes to him when he brings it up to her later, when she finally, she can't get away from him at work one day, and he tries to bring it up, and she's like, "Oh, you're sorry? So you just slipped and fell in my cousin?" Like 3 times, and then he's like, it's great. So I do love that about her. Okay, so the beginning angered me. The end angered me. Because we're not doing too much spoiling today, right? So I'm gonna
you have an anger sandwich.
I got angered, and then I was like loving it, and it was great. I like the banter. I like that she is like take care of herself, which I hate that I'm saying we don't seem to get that a whole lot. But you're like me. You don't read a ton of romances, but we do enjoy them from time to time. And I did like that she was like, I don't need no man. But hey, this one's cute.
I feel like that goes with our Hallmark Christmas movie trope.
It does. The good thing I will say is there was no like major ridiculous miscommunication, other than the fact that little Mr. Trey there knew way more about the goings on in the house than he wanted to fess up to originally. Because he basically tells her, she's like, is it haunted or whatever? And I think she says it jokingly, and he's like, maybe a little, like, kind of, not really. Like, he's very like, and he can tell, like I said, he can tell, like, she's uneasy. So he's like, you know.
Well, are you like me, where, because I also rated Book of Night 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be willing to continue the series, or did the ending just leave you where you're like, no, I'm good?
The reason I will continue the series is because and listen, I knew it was a series, so I knew the likelihood of a cliffhanger is huge, right? I mean, you know that when you go into like a duology or a series or a trilogy, you expect there to be a cliffhanger, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was expecting it. However, I didn't expect Whiplash. It ended so quick.
So it came out of nowhere.
What? And then I thought something was wrong with my copy from Audible. So then I did download it on Kindle. And I go all the way to the end. And I'm like, you're kidding me. No, they weren't kidding me.
This, like, because Book of Night redeemed Holly Black for me, does Inheritance redeem Nora Roberts for you?
I don't know, 440 pages, and you gave me an anger sandwich and Whiplash? I don't know. Let me report back after I have enough in me to go to book 2. Is book 2 even out yet? See, that's the other thing. Did I pick a book where the book 2 isn't even out yet? The second one is called The Mirror. And it came out, it literally comes out on the 19th.
Oh, nice.
It is 448 pages. So let me see if I get another anger sandwich. And then book 3 doesn't even have a title. Why am I doing this to myself?
It's what we do, Miranda. We like to torture ourselves.
In full transparency, I won't lie to you. I picked this one because when you read the synopsis, it definitely sounds like something I would truly be into. And I guess 3.5 stars doesn't mean that I hate it, right? And obviously I'm willing to go to book 2, The Mirror. But I was fully in my gut planning on hating this. Like, I truly thought this was going to be a hate read.
Well, I'm glad you were mostly pleasantly surprised then.
I was averagely surprised.
What was the other Nora Roberts book you read that you didn't like?
So I've read 2. The one was a beginning to a trilogy as well. And it was, where's it at? So the first one I ever tried was Nora Roberts, and it was this one. It was called Dark Witch, the O'Dwyer trilogy. Which, if you haven't noticed, she likes to write about people that have, like, Scottish and Irish last names. It was witches, paranormal romance, like, straight up my alley.
Do you know why she chooses Scottish things?
I don't, to be very
Oh, I
honest.
recognize that. That was very popular at Barnes when I worked there.
It was extremely popular. And I don't know why. Maybe it was when I read it. Maybe I also went into this one being a hate read, but I didn't do well with that one. And then there was another one. Let me find this. The other one was another trilogy that I attempted, book one of. And when I say attempted, I did not DNF, which you and I talked about that. I was like, what happens if I DNF this book? And you said, well, it'll get to be your first. And I was really thinking it was going to happen. But the first ever book I attempted to read, well, I did make it through and didn't like it, was Morrigan's Cross. It's from the Circle trilogy, came out in 2006. Again, paranormal romance, vampires, sign me up.
I've never heard of that one.
Well, you didn't work at Barnes in 2006, did you? No, you did not.
No, I was a baby.
You was as a baby. Well, I was not. Well, I mean, I was kind of still a baby in 2006. I was like 21. Yeah.
How old was I? Where's a calculator? I gotta do math on this one.
She be mathing, folks.
Depending on when it was published in August, so I would have been 15.
I was 21. Yeah, 21. I was 21. And I read this one because actually my mother-in-law and one of my sister-in-laws are huge Nora Roberts fans. Like, they even love like her J.D. Robb stuff. And they thought, because I was a huge book reader, that I would probably also really enjoy this, because my mother-in-law was like, you love vampires, like, do it. And I was like, okay. And they gave me I didn't even have to pay for these. Like, they gave me these, and I was like, yeah. And then I was like, no. I don't know if I just wasn't in the mind frame for it, because let's see, August 2006. Because I remember my mother-in-law bought it brand new, read it so fast, and then was like, here you go. Oh, maybe I should, I had just had a baby. I was not in the right mind for freaking anything. I had Caden in June of 2006. Oh. Yeah. Either way. I didn't like it.
I feel like you and I are both like a little unhinged this episode.
Listen. It's in a good way, right?
Yeah.
Okay, our friends that come to listen to us come for the absurdity.
We've done nothing but laugh.
I mean, at least we didn't cry. We had one where we basically cried the whole freaking time.
That is true.
Oh my God. We've had a couple where we're both like, and you're crying because you're laughing at me, and I'm just crying. And so listen, I genuinely tried. And then, was it only one Holly book that you tried to read, The Cruel Prince? Like, that was the only one that you ever tried to read?
Yes.
So you would give Holly another chance?
With this series, yes. I guess with Holly, I just need to make sure that it's not Fae related.
Not Fae related. And I will also say, well, I mean, I know you will sometimes enjoy a middle grade, not as often as I do. And I know that you do read YA, because we both do.
Yeah. Well, Cruel Prince was technically YA. That's why
it was. And then another one of her one that I love, one of her series, it's Modern Fairy Tales, which, again, I don't know. It is some fairy tales that you would enjoy, but not all of them.
And I had, I forgot about this. My very first audiobook that I ever tried to read was also by Holly Black.
Which one?
The Coldest Girl in Cold Town.
I loved 5-star. That was a 5-star read for me.
I could not, because I remember, so when I worked at Barnes, I started as a like stalker, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I was either working in the back or I was stocking the shelves before the store opened. And when you do that at my store, we were allowed to listen to music or audiobooks, whatever we wanted to do, just to keep us entertained while we did it.
Well, honestly, for some of people, it goes by faster. Like you get more things done that way.
Exactly. So I was like, you know what? I've never done an audio before. I'll try this one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was the narrator. I don't know, but I could not get into it.
Well, I had told you and the people that a narrator can really make or break an audiobook. Like at the end of the day, it could completely ruin an audiobook.
Like, because if I remember correctly, this one was about zombies, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't remember if they ever. It's been a while. I don't remember if they ever flat out call them zombies, but.
Okay. Well, then I can technically say this was my third Holly Black attempt. So
did you goes to that one?
Yeah, no, I could not do it.
Could not.
Yeah.
Do you like?
I think I got to like chapter 6, maybe. I don't know. That's been like 10 plus years ago.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird one too. The girl basically wakes up after like a night out, and she's like in a pile of corpses, surrounded by corpses. It's very strange, but I can't remember. I know you like zombie things, but do you like zombie books?
Honestly, I don't know that I've ever read a zombie book.
Okay. This one is...
I can say that one of my favorite rom-coms is Warm Bodies.
I do love Warm Bodies. Now that I think about this one, though, I don't think it's zombies. I think it's vampires. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Cold Town. Yes. Get it?
Yeah.
Cold. Yeah. It was vampires.
Okay.
With a zombie feeling, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Which vampires are kind of undead, too, but I won't go into semantics. Okay, well, so we both gave our authors a second chance. So we would like to know, who would you give a second chance? Or the other question that Bianca and I came up with today is, who would you never give a second chance to? So Bianca, who would you absolutely not happening, never give a second chance to?
So I'll go for the two that I came up with first, and then I'll do our together one.
Okay.
So the first one is Philip Pullman.
Mm-hmm.
I say that because I read, what Philip Pullman book did I read? Hold on. It was something about dust. Philip Pullman. I'm pulling it up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. I should have had this pulled up before. The Book of Dust.
Okay.
Which the title itself was confusing. Like on the book itself, it says The Book of Dust. But if you look it up on Goodreads, it says La Belle Sauvage, parentheses, The Book of Dust #1. That should have been clue number 1. I think I rated this book like 1.5 stars. From my understanding, it was supposed to be kind of a pirate adventure type thing. It was not. It was so freaking boring. You spend half the book sitting in a tavern.
So then you've never read his Dark Materials?
No.
I enjoyed them. I've never read the Book of Dust.
I hated Book of Dust. It was terrible. And then we all know my feelings on this next one, so it won't come as any surprise, but Ellen Hildebrand. That book was terrible.
Remind me what the name of that one was, because I can't remember.
That one was, I don't remember either. I see the book in my head. Oh, Babe's trying to tell me. What is it, Babe?
Hey, Babe. She back again.
Right, where is it? Hold on, my Goodreads is being dumb.
No, mine was being really dumb too. I'm glad I'm not alone. Like I was trying to pull up Philip Pullman, and every time I typed in his name, and I did spell it absolutely correctly, it was giving me like a list of totally different people.
I'm glad it's not just me then.
Which
Where are you? When did we read this?
that wants to know, I have been testing out and using both Goodreads and Fable side by side, because initially what you do is you transfer everything over from Goodreads to Fable, and then it doesn't continue to feed. You have to do it separate. And I know I've said a million times I would never abandon Goodreads. And I still probably won't, because there were a bunch of novellas that I could not add to Fable, but I did add to my Goodreads. But give it a check. Check out the Fable app for keeping up with your reads and wants.
It was The Rumor.
The Rumor. Oh, yes.
Yeah, because it was basically like a town, and you have like 8 different main characters, and none of them are fully fleshed out.
It was completely disjointed, I remember.
Yes,
I remember. Okay, I remember that one now.
And then there's one that we both agree that we'll never give a second chance to.
Never happening. Sorry.
That was Cormac McCarthy. We did do an episode of Cormac McCarthy with The Road. That was back in, when was that?
It was actually not that long. I think it was this year. Wasn't it? Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was this year.
Scrolling.
Was it last year? Oh my God. It was the end of the year last year, or was it this year? Hang on.
We don't know. We're just here, you guys.
Listen, after a while, I know that we've read books and I can talk about them, but I don't remember what month specifically it was connected to sometimes. We read it in April.
So go listen to this past April's episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We covered The Road. You can hear our full thoughts fleshed out on it. We do spoil.
Was it a lot of...
I feel like for us that's pretty fleshed out since we didn't like it. Which you did say that you have a family member who really enjoys Cormac McCarthy, and they recommend. What was the other one they recommend?
Hang on.
Is it No Country for Old Men?
Yes, so my cousin, and I know his wife sometimes listens to us. She's a really good friend of mine. He has read several of his, and I remember when we read it, and I posted the TikTok of like books we've read for the month, and my cousin was like, "Oh, I've read, I don't remember how many of these too. One is like my favorite." He's like, "Can you guess which one?" I was like, "I already know." I think he gives this like 5 stars.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, there's another friend of mine that I talked about, I think, in that episode, who is also an author, but he's an actual friend of mine who also gave it 5 stars and loves it. And I'm not being mean, because listen, sometimes what's for one person is not for another.
I was about to say, there's a book for everybody. These just aren't for us.
This one was not it. It was not it. It was not hitting. And maybe, again, maybe I read it at a time where it wasn't meant for me to. But unfortunately, it did it.
But you have 2 others that you will never revisit. Who are they?
So one of them, Bianca's laughing at me because she thinks I was joking about mentioning this. I'm not joking. If you've been here for a while, you know that Miranda, who refuses to DNF a book, and I'm trying to get better, read a really, like, I'm just gonna use adult words, shit ass book, clearly written by AI. To which I ended up making a TikTok making fun of it about it. Got a lot of views. Everyone thought I was hysterical. So I will no longer be reading books by anything that I think might be AI. Ever.
Who was the author of that one? Do you remember?
Oh, I can find it real quick. Because it's going to be on my completed books on Goodreads.
Let me see if I can find it. Because you keep going. I'll see if I can find it.
Okay, I think it's in last year's challenge, by the way. I think it was last year. It's like Jessica something, I think. Anyway, so there's one. Another one is actually an author that I used to really love, but I feel like is just not with it anymore. No offense, sir. No offense. And that's Dan Brown. I loved Da Vinci Code, and I loved Angels and Demons, and I went ahead and I even really liked The Lost Symbol. And then it just hasn't been great since then. Just isn't going for me. So I feel like I'm done with him. I feel like it's not ever happening again. And one I have never read, and I will never read. She's my Sarah J. Oh, listen, I love Sarah J. Maas, but you do not, and you will never read anything of hers. I feel like that's a strong thing to say. Would you agree? Like, that's correct.
Well, I've read one and I didn't like it.
But you didn't like it. But you're never going to. Like, you're like, I'm done with you. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Mine, never read any of hers, though. Never going to. Do Not Come For Me, Danielle Steele.
Now, why are you, like, you've never even tried it, so
I've
why?
never even tried it. Honestly, I think part of it is kind of the same thing that happened to you, where you've had so many people be like, why don't you read this? What do you mean you haven't read this? What do you mean you haven't read this? What do you mean you haven't read this? And so I hit a point where I was like, well, now it's never happening. My understanding is she's also really, really loved by people who really love Nora. So I feel like I just won't go there. And then I don't have to DNF something.
I mean, I guess that's true.
It really all comes. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like part of my ADHD or if I'm just weird. I mean, I am weird, but I don't know. I don't know.
It.
Which one? What was it called?
Beauty and the Lichen Beast.
Yes. And who wrote it?
Jessica Molly.
Uh-huh. Should have clued in. Should have clued in the minute it was written by Jessica Molly. No offense if your name's Jessica Molly, but huh? And before you come at me and say, well, Christina Lauren, no, you do not besmirch. Mm-mm.
I've read one Christina Lauren book.
I know.
No,
not you, the people. Before the people yell at me and say Jessica Molly is like the same as picking the name Christina Lauren. No, it is not. No, it is not. Those ladies are fantastic. Absolutely not. No, it should have clued in. I've tirade about this book about 6 different episodes now. So I'll give it a rest, but just say if you open the very beginning of a book, and I know people usually say, don't return a book, it hurts an author. If you start reading it and you're a page in and you're like, this was definitely AI, return the book. Don't do what I did.
And it's almost 500 pages.
Yes, I know. Listen, I will say concept pretty good if you're into like romances like that. Concept is really good, but there's some like skeevy issues. There's the fact that it was written by AI. And what was it? I think I sent you like it was the grammar.
Yeah, you sent me like a list of things.
There was like first person, third person, who's the person? I don't know. It was. Just don't do it. Just don't read. If you think it was written by AI, do some little Google, do some searching. Don't do it. And wasn't it something else? Like, I think when you and I looked up Jessica Molly, it was also, there was a weird, like, how many books came out on, like, the same day or something. It was very.
Yeah, I don't remember. It only has 2 reviews on Goodreads, though.
Is mine one of them?
No.
Oh, because I did. Okay, Goodreads is being dumb. I literally typed Jessica Molly in there, and it's not giving me anything. It's giving me, like, stuff completely unrelated. It's broken.
Yeah, it's being weird today. So
anyway,
with that being said, we will move on to our last segment of recent reads and acquisitions. I only have 2 acquisitions, and one of them was technically a pre-order from forever ago. So, my pre-order was Spectacular by Stephanie Garber. This is a Caraval holiday novella, I got the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, so I have the white cover with the green and red writing with a little bit of gold in there. It is absolutely gorgeous. So I will be picking this up a little closer to Christmas because, one, I love Caraval. I loved all 6 of those books. So this is, I guess, number 7-ish, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also got A Crown of Ivy and Glass by Claire Legrand. This is book 1 in the Middle Mist trilogy. She's a little bit of a chonker. How many pages?
How many pages you got?
551 pages. But it's a YA fantasy, so I already know I'm going to love it.
I do feel like sometimes there's certain like books or book genres that when I pick it up, I know like I'm gonna love this. Yeah,
the vibe just gets you. It just comes at you.
Exactly.
For recent reads, let me go in order. I read Dreadful by Caitlin Rozakis. I believe that was Caitlin's first book. It was really, really cute. It's about a wizard who literally in the first chapter, he wakes up and doesn't remember who he is, what he's doing, what life is. And he basically spends the whole book figuring it out. It is very much a comedy. I laughed out loud a couple of times. Really enjoyed it. I hope Caitlin writes some more things.
You said something about that one in chat that I was like, say no more. I'm good. I'm in.
I also read The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein. This is a take on young Dr. Frankenstein. Mm-hmm. It's about a girl, Elizabeth, who was basically adopted into his family, for lack of a better word. And she basically helps keep Victor, I was trying to remember his first name. Yeah. Try to keep Victor in line, not be so eccentric. But obviously we all know how the story goes. But I really enjoyed reading about Victor from Elizabeth's point of view. I thought that was very, very cool. I did a reread of Fourth Wing because I was bored one Saturday and had nothing else to do, so I read it in one sitting, basically.
No. I think I brought this up last time. Correct thyself. It wasn't I had nothing else to do. If she asked, should I read Fourth Wing again or something else? And then she was like, never mind, don't care. I'm reading Fourth Wing again. I was like, why even ask? Okay.
I gave everyone 5 minutes to respond in that chat.
I don't think it was 5 minutes. Literally, the next response was her doing a video of her walking to the bookshelf, flinging off the dust jacket, and sitting down in the chair with Fourth Wing. And I was like, okay, well, okay. And then he proceeds to go, why did you guys let me do this?
I gave you 5 minutes.
I didn't let you do anything. Anyway.
I also read The Little Italian Hotel by, I think it's Phaedra Patrick. I think I'm pronouncing that name properly. That was my second Phaedra book. Hers, like, she doesn't write great literature or anything. She's just a good palate cleanser. She writes, I won't say cute little books because her, both books I've read, they've had they're a lot like Emily Henry or Colleen Hoover, where there's like underlying tones in there, where like there's something deep going on. Mm-hmm. But it's just easy reads. So that was a good palate cleanser.
Nice.
And then I reread A Discovery of Witches. I have read that previously, but I never continued the series. Not because I didn't enjoy it, just because I got busy doing other things.
And so I was like, absolute favorite.
I was like, you know what? It's October. It was October when I read it. I was like, let's do this. So read it.
What did you give it?
I think I gave it 4, if not 5. Let me double check. I gave it 4.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
I think on Literal I gave it 4.5.
See, that's the other thing I like about. So you're using Literal, which I think is a great tester. You're using Literal. I've been using Fable. Yeah. What I love is you can do like 2.75, 2.5, and I'm like, oh, yes, I love being able to do that. Yeah, 4 is acceptable. I'll accept that.
with that being said, I am currently reading the second book in that series called Shadow of Night. I will probably finish it after we finish recording because I only have like 150 pages left.
It's hard for me to say which one of those is my favorite. It really is.
So far, I like the first one better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spoil it, but something happens at the end of the first one that continues on in the second one,
yes.
And it changes how the characters talk and discuss with each other.
But it's necessary. It's absolutely necessary.
It's totally necessary. Like, I understand why, but it's dragging it down a little bit, and I'm just like, okay, can we just move on?
I think the reason why when I did my reread, that number 2 still hit so like heavy to me, and I loved it so much, is because now a lot of the places in the streets being mentioned, even, I've walked down them now. Like I've seen them like in person, and it to me it kind of like.
Oh yeah, I just got to Prague.
Okay, yeah. So there are places that she starts talking about when she's walking around Prague that I'm like, I've been there. Oh my god! Like I knew what she was talking about, and the way she's describing the streets, and there's still cobble streets like that to this day in these spots that she's talking about. So
and they just got to the castle in Prague, and I was like, wait, Miranda's been there. I've seen this in pictures.
You have seen some pictures, yes. I love, for anyone that can ever visit Prague, I'm going to make Bianca come at some point. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal. But yeah,
those are all
perfect.
Those are all my recent reads and acquisitions. What have you obtained and or read?
Obtained, not much. I will say everything I have read in the past since we last recorded, I was going to say since we last met, but that doesn't count because we talk all the time. Since we last recorded, I have only obtained one new book, and I bought that today, actually. It is a comic.
Is it Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid?
Okay, true, technically then. You're right. I did purchase that today. No, we went to Comic-Con here today. And there was only upstairs, as like in conjunction with Comic-Con, was a book fair. And there was only one booth that had anything English, and actually everything they had was English, and it was all comics. And they had a gorgeous comic that I had never heard of called Alice Ever After. I guess you could say comic, graphic novel, and it was like the full, complete, like trade version. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so I purchased that today, and I'm very, very excited. I'll send you his name. It's like Panosian. I am butchering his name. Panosian. Panosian. But the art is gorgeous. The book is gorgeous. I didn't know it existed. So I'm very excited. Apparently it came out in like 2022. So, and I had already left America, so I really wasn't in the comics buying game as like I usually was. So, so excited. It's Grown Up Alice. So, yes. It has something. It said something about distant family, tormented lover, father with secrets. I was like, and it's Alice. Sign me up. So I purchased that, and then of course, yes, you guys just all heard me buy Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So I guess I have purchased 2 books. I will spare you on. I will not bring up every book that I read this month. You don't want me to.
Yeah, no, you've done a lot this month. You were busy.
Miranda went a little ham. I think the total is 16 for the month of October.
Good grief.
Listen. Hear me out. I was having a good old time over there in Horrorland, okay? I'm going to go back.
Name like 2 of your favorites.
I mean, I am. I think I already mentioned a couple because of when we recorded. I'm trying to remember. Because we did Grady Hendrix last time.
Yes.
So I ended up, I briefly mentioned this one on the TikTok, but I didn't go into detail. So I'll bring this one up. The September House by Carissa Orlando. I had a habit this month of my favorite books. I read a couple that the person had never written anything else. And I was like, what? Loved this book so much. It is funny when it needed to be, creepy when it needed to be. It even had a few moments of like a little bit gory. The overall message is a little sad, but it's like, in my opinion, horror done just right. I think I gave it 4 stars because there were a couple of things where I was like, okay. But I loved it. Highly recommend it. Yes, I gave it 4 stars.
And it's also a Goodreads Choice Award nominee.
It is. It is. It was nominee in 2 categories in 2023. But is this the one that she hasn't written anything else? Yeah, she wrote some stories for like a horror magazine, but this is her first like novel, and I will go ahead and tell you, whatever she comes out with next, I will purchase it. The short of it is, a woman is determined to stay in her dream home even after it becomes a haunted nightmare. It is unreliable narrator, layered, very twisty, and it was the one that when I created the TikTok, remember where I said something, I was like, I was listening to it on audiobook, and I was like, the narrator was clearly, and the author was telling you something because they were repeating it over and over again, and I was yelling at the main character, like, repetitively, almost like you would in a horror movie where you're like, no! Yeah, so this one audibly had me yelling at the main character.
Like, I mean, it happens.
It happens. Well, they repeat a phrase over. I'm not going to say it because it is important. But a phrase starts getting repeated over and over again. And I was like, do you not hear what they're saying to you? Like, I had already figured out what the twist was. After about the 4th time that this phrase was said, I was like, oh, and then I was getting really angry. But I loved it. It was fantastic. Very unreliable narrator, which I have come to learn I really like. Do you remember, did I talk about We Used to Live Here? I think I did, because I asked you how to say his name.
Yes.
Okay. I won't go into that again. Go back and listen to the last episode for more about that. Another one I really, really loved, which you had read. You have already read this. I gave 5 stars to T.J. Klune's The House on the Cerulean Sea.
You finally read it.
I did. This gave me such strong Home for Imaginary Friends vibes.
Yeah.
And that show is like a huge comfort show for me. I found it as an adult. I think I had really bad like morning sickness when I was pregnant with Caden, when it was actually like all day, any time of the day, but it's referred to as morning sickness. And this is what I used to go lay on the couch and watch with like cold tap packs like strapped to me. I love this. So I was audibly laughing at parts of this book. It was phenomenal. Yeah. So good. I'll give you one more.
Okay.
That was The Wedding Party by R.L. Jones. I had actually never read anything by R.L. Jones.
I've never heard of this person.
I found R.L. Jones because I believe they started. Before I get this incorrect, I saw it posted on the Tick of Talks.
The Forbidden Clock app.
The Forbidden Clock app. No, it's not forbidden. Please follow us. Anyway, I found this. Pause. I want to make sure I say this correctly before I, oh, crap. LR Jones.
Is it L.R. Jones or R.L. Jones?
Mm-hmm. Let me double check. It is L.R. Yes.
Okay.
L.R. So I found it, and of course it's going to be loud. Here, I'm just going to turn it all the way down. You guys got to hear that. So I found LR because they started following us on TikTok.
What?
And posted a video with the wedding party. And I was like, excuse me, I am going to purchase this right now based on what they said about in the video. I was like, and now I can't find where I said that. Anyway, and I could be wrong. It was before, but sometimes Kindle Unlimited changes. Last time I checked,
it's still available. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it's available for free in Kindle Unlimited. This book, at first, I was like, I won't lie, I don't think the author is ever going to find, I mean, they followed us, but I mean, I don't know if she is ever going to hear this. But initially I was like, I don't know about this. And then I got a couple of chapters in and loved it. 4 stars.
L.R. Jones is a pseudonym for New York Times and USA Today best-selling author Lisa Renee Jones.
Lisa Renee Jones, 4 stars to you, ma'am.
She was listed as number 7 in Entrepreneur Magazine's list of growing women-owned businesses. She lives in Colorado with her husband, a cat who always has something to say, and a golden retriever who's afraid of her own bark.
Hey, I got one of those too. Not a golden retriever afraid of their own bark, but I got a German Shepherd afraid of his own bark. He's afraid of everything. And then the little 9-pound one is like, I'll fuck you up. This book I read last weekend. We went out of town for our anniversary, and I finished it on the way home. I read the whole thing while I was just passenger princessing up. I read this book in 6 hours.
I'm glad you liked it.
327 pages. A bride-to-be and her fiance, basically. There's secrets, lies. Yeah, and I thought I had it figured out. Like, there's a whole murder mystery aspect. So it kind of turns into an unreliable narrator at one point. Because even the FBI agent that this book is based around, that is our main character, she even is unsure of some things. And she's supposed to be the top of her game. Like, she's just come off the high of catching this serial killer. This is not spoiling anything, but she's just come off a high of catching a serial killer that, like, apparently no one else could. She's actually FBI, like, profiler. So kind of think Criminal Minds job. She keeps telling people a lot of paperwork, which, I mean, it is. It's a lot of, like, trying to really analyze the situation and what the person is doing. But the reason I initially was like, I don't know, is it did the thing that the Nora Roberts book does, where it told me a story and then it jumped into, like, what the rest of the book. And I was like, what? But then it all ends up making sense, like, later. Yeah. Highly recommend. Never read anything by LR, but I would definitely do it again. I'm here for it. Yeah. So I'll spare you guys. There will be posts in the next couple of, when our episode goes up, they've probably already posted, but if you haven't been to the TikTok in a few days, or you haven't checked the Instagram, Bianca and I will be doing our recap of what we did read in October, so you'll get to see everything Bianca read and everything I read with their star ratings coming very soon. Like I said, when this episode goes up, it should already be up. But with
that being said, you can follow us, the podcast, that is, on Instagram. We are at Bells with Books Podcast. You can follow me on Instagram. Personally, I'm at Stylin' Freak. You can also find the podcast on TikTok. Miranda basically runs that all by herself. She does a fantastic job. Bells with Books podcast over there. You can follow Miranda personally on the TikTok at Mom's a Nerd.
Mm-hmm.
You can also find her on Instagram under that same handle, Mom's a Nerd. On Instagram, you tend to post like more uplifting, like comforting content, and then on TikTok, you're just like buck wild, whatever goes.
I use Instagram a little less these days, but I use it as kind of like a memory board. It has a different, like, that's the one use. And on TikTok, because you can speak like to such an open platform, I feel like I have I don't know, for some reason over there, I feel like the people that follow me are a little different. Some of them are a lot of the same, but then I have different people that follow me on TikTok, and I feel like that's where I can really like say things and be funny and myself. And not that I'm not myself on Instagram, because if you follow my stories, like one may be something about F1, and then the next one may be about how black my cold dead heart is, and then the next one may be like, remember, you should always love yourself, which you should. But that's what it tends to be, and it tends to be more like photos in the moment. And then my TikTok, literally when they're like, what's your TikTok aesthetic? And I was like, I don't have one.
You literally don't.
I don't. And you know what? I kind of love it that way. I have organically been there, and there's travel content. Sometimes I talk about recipes. It is literally whatever I find interesting at that moment. And I think, you know what? If that doesn't give me 5,000 followers, as much as I would love that, 10,000 followers, I would love that. But like, if that doesn't get me that, that's fine, because at the end of the day, I'm being me.
Well, and I will say, I enjoyed the Lego journey of the ship. Those were great.
Thank you. You don't know how stressful that Lego journey was. That was stressful. That was $150 of his own money. Lego journey. Yeah. And shout out Bianca. Bianca, and she said this, which is fine. She's a serial lurker and sharer. So she will share your video, and she will sometimes repost a video. She doesn't typically like a video or even comment on videos on TikTok.
Yeah, that's not my vibe.
It's not your vibe, but you know what you did yesterday? You liked and commented on my video. I was like, what up, bestie?
I put myself out there, guys.
You did. It said comment from Bianca, and I was like, who's trying to? I thought somebody had copied your page. I was like, who's trying to? Oh. But yes, no, I probably am a little unhinged and a little everywhere on TikTok, but I feel like it's because it's where I am 100% me.
Yeah, and I love it.
Thank you. And that's where I am. If you want to get me to 10,000 followers, that'd be fantastic, boys and girls. But at the same time, if I gotta not be me to get there, then I'm not gonna do it.
Well, what can you tell us about what's going on in the rest of the Place to Be Nation world?
At this point in dropping of this podcast, the Cartoons of Our Youth tournament that I keep telling you guys about will be completed. As of currently today, recording this, it is down to two. It's down to two. I'm a fan of one of them, but I'm not happy with this outcome. It is currently between X-Men 1997 or The Simpsons. I stan The Simpsons, you know that, but I don't know. Like, I just felt like it should have been more. Like, yes, did a lot of us watch The Simpsons in our youth and carry it through today? Absolutely. X-Men 97, of course, watched it as kids. But, like, I just felt like this should go to something that, I don't know, like, I'm not saying this cartoon specifically, but I would have thought more like this should have gone to, like, My Little Pony or DuckTales or Care Bears or, G.I. Joe or, you know what I'm saying? So, I get the people voted for what they wanted, so I can't be mad. Like, that's what they wanted. But I just thought it was going to go in a completely different direction. That's all I'm saying. So that's why you should join the group. So Miranda isn't so disappointed. I need more Mirandas in there. That's what I need. We have a lot of shows on this feed, the wrestling feed. If you're interested in anything Place to Be Nation or the sister feeds that we have, please go to placetobenation.com. There are articles, there are links to every episode from all of the different feeds. So there's much there for all kinds of fans. We have like NFL content, NBA content, wrestling, books, the Muppets, Disney, random pop culture. So I feel like we kind of cover like a large array, so that everyone should have something on this feed to, love. So yeah, check all of that out. Remember to like and subscribe. I don't say that often, and I know people get tired of hearing podcasters say that, but it really does help us push the entire feed out there a little bit more. Leave a review, all of those things. Follow us on the social medias. It's all very much appreciated. And next month we're going to come back. We're dead set on what we're doing. Correcto?
Yes.
So next month we are going to be reading the same. Well. Rereading something for 11 billionth time together is what we're doing. Because I don't know how many times I've reread this. I'm sure you don't.
I honestly can't tell. 11
billionth. That's what we're going to go with, okay? So
well, we'll just say 11 because we are going to be discussing Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and he turns 11.
But with that being said, thank you for listening today. Please send us in your authors that you will never give a second chance to, and an author that maybe you think you should give a second chance to. And let me know, either Bianca and I, Instagram or TikTok, if you agree or disagree with today's assessment. But either way, no matter how you feel, always keep reading.